Do you know your salary? Do you want to share it?
15 LPA, 12 CTC.
16.5 LPA. From our college, half of the interns that were taken received PPOs.
Guys, you see the beautiful campus around me. This is TAPMI Manipal. I'm here for the second time and I'm again enchanted by its beauty. This video will be about TAPMI's MBA Core program. So I will have a few students जो आपको बहुत कुछ बताएंगे अपने internships के बारे में. It will be a placement reality video. We're going to cover in detail about the internships, the rules that they are placed in for finals, the salaries if they're willing to share, and we'll also get to know कि अगर आपको समझ लीजिए मार्केटिंग में करियर बनाना है, अच्छे कंपनी से प्लेसमेंट लेना है, फाइनेंस में लेना है, ऑपरेशंस में लेना है, तो मैंने कुछ इकट्ठा किए हैं स्टूडेंट्स. They'll talk about how you can go about getting desired roles in these sectors. गाइस, जैसा मैंने बताया था आपको कि मैं बैठूंगा विद अ फ्यू स्टूडेंट्स ऑफ MBA कोर. नाउ ऑल ऑफ दीज स्टूडेंट्स आर प्लेस्ड फॉर द फाइनल प्लेसमेंट्स. आई विल टॉक अबाउट एग्जैक्टली विच रोल दे आर प्लेस्ड इन, जैसा मैं करता हूँ अपने वीडियोज़ में, पर इस वीडियो में थोड़ा और डिटेल में जाऊँगा. आई विल आस्क अबाउट द रिक्रूटर्स पर्सपेक्टिव. नाउ अ कॉलेज जिसमें बहुत सारे स्पेशलाइजेशन है, मतलब सेक्टोरल MBA है. TAPMI हैज़ अ लॉट ऑफ MBA प्रोग्राम्स. सो देयर इज MBA कोर, देयर इज MBA मार्केटिंग, देयर इज MBA HR, ठीक है. देयर इज MBA BKFS जिसको MBA फाइनेंस बोल सकते हैं. तो हाउ आर द प्लेसमेंट्स डिफरेंट इन अ वे? आपको सैलरीज और कंपनीज के नाम तो प्लेसमेंट रिपोर्ट्स में दिखते हैं, बट एज अ स्टूडेंट आपको क्या डिफरेंस मिलता है वो भी हम टच करेंगे थोड़ा सा. और विल गेट टू नो अ लॉट ऑफ डिटेल्स अबाउट MBA कोर्स प्लेसमेंट, फिगर्स, रूल्स इन दिस वीडियो. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, इफ यू ऑल कैन गिव योर इंट्रोडक्शन, आप लोगों का क्या बैकग्राउंड था, एंड देन यू कैन टॉक अबाउट वेयर यू आर प्लेस्ड एट. या
So, my name is Ayush. Before joining TAPMI, I have an experience of 33 months. I basically worked with two companies. One was an NMC and one was a startup. So, my previous experience was related to customer experience and marketing and sales as well.
अच्छा, so you have relevant work experience.
I have relevant work experience.
You come from what, BTech?
I come from a BCom honors background.
Where?
Proper honors from Delhi itself, from Guru Govind
अच्छा,
Singh Indraprasth University.
IP.
Post that, I worked with NatWest Group.
Great.
And later on, I switched to a startup called Momentum Invest & Co, which was a fintech edtech mix. After that, I joined TAPMI, and I'm from MBA Core. However, my specialization major is marketing, minor is strategy.
Okay, so we got, so MBA कोर में दो स्पेशलाइजेशन आप ले सकते हो,
Yes,
मतलब मेजर है माइनर, और आपने लिया है
marketing and strategy.
एंड स्ट्रेटजी. कैन यू, आई नो यू आर नॉट फ्रॉम द अदर सेक्टोरल MBAs, बट TAPMI हैज़ MBA HR, MBA BKFS, तो उसमें भी है, उसमें क्या, उसमें स्पेशलाइजेशन नहीं है?
So when we talk about different cohorts, MBA HR, MBA MSM, MBA BKFS, and there is also IB, International Business.
That's also sectoral MBA.
Yes. So these are more focused. They do provide the basic curriculum that main MBA core has, but then they in the second year they move towards the more focused side on the जो उनका वो है specialization. MSM में there is more.
So they don't take two specializations.
No, they do not take two specialization. Their main specialization
मतलब
is
सेकेंड ईयर में सारे
marketing.
सब्जेक्ट्स आपका उसी स्पेशलाइजेशन का.
उसी specialization पे होगा.
बट टेल मी वन थिंग,
Yes.
MBA IB आपने बोला, तो मार्केटिंग तो ठीक है, HR ठीक है, फाइनेंस भी ठीक है, IB ऑनेस्टली एंड यू आल्सो नो, आई नो कि इंटरनेशनल रोल्स तो सारे नहीं मिलते आजकल, तो फिर IB किसको करना चाहिए? व्हाट इज IB?
So for IB also, international, obviously globalization बहुत है. इंडिया का काफ़ी it's a booming country. So in IB also they have two minors.
Okay.
In IB they can either choose for IT or marketing. So their main focus will be on the international business, and on minor side for second years, when they come into second year, they can focus on IT or marketing. That completely depends on the students.
But then this two minors thing is not applicable for the other sectoral MBAs.
For MSM also they have few subjects in second
What
year.
is MSM? I mean,
MSM is marketing and sales management.
Okay.
So
so that's MBA marketing.
MBA marketing. So they also have in second year few subjects that are they mandatory have to do. For core we have, for it is more of a optional side. उनको marketing के subjects करने ही पड़ते हैं.
नहीं, पर मार्केटिंग तो करना पड़ता है. पर आपने जैसा IB का बोला, जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड क्लियरली, कि वो मार्केटिंग ले सकते हैं और एक और स्पेशलाइजेशन ले सकते हैं, और मार्केटिंग में तो आप अलग फाइनेंस नहीं ले सकते फिर.
No, for marketing, but they in the first year, जैसे same MBA के they do teach financial
In the first
accounting.
year you do, but
yes.
you can't take minor.
In the second year minor, you cannot take finance as minor.
You can take something in marketing.
Marketing
For
itself.
example, brand management.
Brand management, digital marketing,
Understood.
these
Understood.
subjects.
So all those majors and minors will be from that
Yes.
specialty. So great. Where you place the finals?
So for my final placement, I got placed with a subsidiary of Manipal Education and Medical Group. It's called UMix. It's an edtech startup. My role here is a learner experience management trainee, where I will be basically looking for the customer success role. So this is my.
What is a customer success role?
So customer success role, basically I will be working in the back end to make sure that the students that are there, they have like a streamline or smooth journey whenever they have problems, and whenever they have success stories, that will be looked after in this role.
Okay. Can you talk about your package?
So as of now, package is not disclosed. We are still waiting for the offer letter. But for package, for TAPMI last year package, which is out, is the highest was 32 lakhs per annum, and the average went 13.84 lakhs
This
per
year,
annum.
what is the highest?
This year, the highest is 32 lakhs still, but the company is different.
And you're not disclosed your package. आपको नहीं पता है.
Right now, we haven't been disclosed, but last year, the package for my role, it was 12 CTC.
तो ऐसा भी होता है कि बिना package disclose किए भी you can.
No, the tentative package is this, but there might be increasing packages because this year the market has improved. So the company the company is still looking at how much they would like to increase
So
the
the minimum
package.
package you know.
The minimum package I know that I'll be getting for this role is 12
12
CTC.
LPA.
Yes.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you.
Could you talk about your summer internship?
So for my summer internship, I interned with Berger Paints India. I interned there as a management trainee where I looked after the dealers. So basically we had to expand our dealer network. New competitors are coming in market like JSW, Pidilite, Birla Opus. So Berger Paints is basically looking to expand this business. So we were supposed to get new dealers on board. We were supposed to get new painters also, whom we call contractors, on board. So basically, that was more of a on the field job. So I used to go to the dealers. I used to go to contractors meet. We used to pitch our product, like what offers we have.
I will stop you
Yes.
here. Guys, मैं आपको थोड़ा gist दे दूँ. अभी आपने सुना, इन्होंने कहा he interned at Berger Paints. So Berger Paints is an FMCG
Yes, it's an
company.
FMCG.
So it's kind of high of FMCG company.
Yes.
FMCG is fast moving consumer goods. FMCG is fast moving consumer durables.
Yes.
And people who want to work in marketing, they want to work in these two sectors.
Yes.
So he's got a very coveted role in summer internship. इनका भी they have told me before this interview, he got summers and he's got a PP from ICICI Bank. तो ये बैंकिंग सेक्टर का रोल है. I'll come to you. तो इनसे हम ICICI के बारे में पूछेंगे. तो एक तरह से फाइनेंस सेक्टर, इनसे हम FMCG सेक्टर के बारे में पूछेंगे. And he got placed in supply chain for summers in a good consulting company for supply chain and operations, GEP. तो इनसे हम supply chain के बारे में पूछेंगे. तो you will get an idea of 3 sectors basically. ठीक है. Now I'll come to you again. आपने थोड़ा बताया कि आप क्या कर रहे थे डीलर्स के साथ. आप मुझे आगे अपना एक्सपीरियंस बताते हुए आंसर करना. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कि लोगों को बहुत डाउट होता है कि अगर वो सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग करते हैं, FMCG जाते हैं, तो क्या होता है? क्या उनके पास ऑफिस नहीं होती है? क्या उन्हें बहुत घूमना होता है? क्या उनके पास टारगेट्स बहुत होते हैं? How does your role look like? A day in the life of the role look like?
People have this misconception. If it's FMCG or FMCD, आप सारा time will be doing sales on the marketing. But the thing is, when you do an MBA, आपको एक push मिल जाता है. So you join a company as a management trainee. First year, you do have to go to the market. You need to understand the market. कि how is your customer? What does your customer wants? उनके pain points क्या है? But after an MBA role, once you have completed your management trainee time frame, you get promoted to area sales manager. So basically, you will be handling few territories. It is, but now what will the difference will be? You will have a sales team under you.
Okay.
So sales team will be going to the
So they will
market.
do all the bhaga-bhagi.
Yes, bhaga-bhagi as an ASM you also have to do because there will be big clients. Jinko as a manager you will go to pitch, you will go to sales. So basically you will have to manage your own team. your team will consist of.
Now, what is the normal size of the region that you handle?
So when I was in Bojo Paints India, my territory I was working, it was South Delhi. So in South Delhi, the area sales manager had a team of 7 to 8 sales.
Great insights, okay.
7 to 8
sales
sales
folks,
folks.
and he was taking care of entire South India.
In South Delhi, entire South Delhi.
Okay, and क्या revenue around touch करना होता है?
So every month revenue depends because in paint industry their peak months are April and the Diwali period, November, December. So that month the depot I was in, so their revenue that they were supposed to touch every month is 3 crores. So that is the peak.
कितने distributors होते हैं? Because ultimately they sell to distributors, they don't sell directly, right?
They don't sell. They do not prefer to sell to retailers. Distributors है, and distributors are also retailers also who are a big जिनका size बड़ा हो.
So they interact with retailers as well.
Retailers as well. So I do not have a count of distributors, but they have more than 500 distributors,
500 distributors in South Delhi,
including retailers as well.
500
In South Delhi, because it's a paint industry, is a big market. You have Kokla market, you have then Ignu Road. So there are like एक ही road पे there are a lot of paint shops. So I personally went and pitched to more than like 200 dealers, out of which 100 dealers, sorry, out of which I was able to secure few. So it is a very, I would say, exciting role, because I, on a personal side, if you want experience to, maybe later on shift to marketing, you need to have sales experience. That is what I feel, because when you are working on the ground, you get to know the problems that the customer are facing, and accordingly you can switch to marketing. And for Bojo Paints, it is easy. When you are working in area sales manager, you could have later on in your career path switch to marketing as well.
Great. You answered a lot of good points and insights about our role in FMCG. तो आपके MBA core में पहले तो marketing, finance, HR, operations, analytics, किसके ज़्यादा rules आते हैं, क्या क्या top companies आती हैं और क्या salaries चल रही है?
So for MBA, in MBA core, you can do specialization in marketing, finance, IT, and minors you have strategy, analytics, IT, operations. So finance and marketing दोनों का company आता है equivalent, I would say, but
30-40%, 40-40.
I would, yeah, around 40-40 दोनों का. Major
So
IT,
Mark, finance and marketing.
major is Mark, Finance and IT. These three are the major companies that come to TAPMI. To be honest, this year also we are going above average of what last year. Last year the average was 13.84. So companies this year that have been coming, the placements season has been good. People have been getting placed in good companies. For FMCG, we had companies like ITC, PNG, and in FMCG also we had Bojo Paints. And then like other companies which are core marketing companies, they also for core marketing roles, Make My Trip, and there are more companies. For IT, we have Deloitte, PwC, all the big four. Then Accenture is also there. So we have like a good pool of the major companies that actually.
I've been told, I interviewed the director of TAPMI, Mr. Rajiv Kumra. उसका भी वीडियो आपने देखा होगा, अगर नहीं देखा हो तो पे आ जाएगा. He told me that the placement reports are 100% true.
Yes.
And पहले तो IPRS था, बंद हो गया. तो मेरे से कुछ लोग को लग सकता है कि is it true or not? आप सच बताओ प्लीज इतना बच्चों के लिए, is it true?
So from a student point of view, when we were also joining our college, we also had concerns whether the placement, because I had other options and a lot of colleges do inflate their placement. But from TAPMI, like being here for more than like 1.5 years, we can say that the packages that are there has been true.
100%.
Yes. So last year our average dropped a little from the previous year. So our college did not like blow, like inflate it or show it.
जो inflate करते हैं वो हर साल inflate मतलब बढ़ाते हैं, इसलिए inflate करना पड़ जाता है.
TAPMI is also portrayed as very strict. So that is there. When it comes strict, it is more on the line of professionalism.
Are you still strict? Because last year ही मैंने वीडियो बनाया और मुझे उतना strict लोगों ने बोला कि है नहीं. So also
I do not feel TAPMI is strict. I feel it's the professional mannerism that you have to maintain. That is there, because a lot of students that are freshers also, they come from UG, directly from UG. Under UG you have obviously a more of a different environment, but when people need to understand when they are coming for post graduation, especially MBA, it becomes more of a professional setup that you have to go through. So TAPMI wouldn't be strict, and yes, placements here are not inflated, that we can say, and this year also placements are going good so far.
Great. Great. We got great insights about sales and marketing. We'll go to ICICI Bank, which is in finance sector. So introduction दीजिए आप अपना, and उसके बाद talk about your ICICI Bank internship का role and also the role that you plays in.
So my name is Aryan, and my background is in English. Actually, I did a BA in English. I got an internship in ICICI Bank. My role was as a summer intern. It was a marketing role, and my department was in corporate banking. So my main job was assisting the employees there with the corporate banking clients. So a lot of information I was working with was confidential, so I was not given access to a lot of the roles that were available there. So I was mainly assisting the employees there.
Great. You've got a PPO, pre-placement offer.
Yes.
Do you know your salary? Do you want to share it?
I haven't received my official offer letter right now.
Around ballpark figure?
Yeah, so based on previous placements, so it should be around 16.5 LPA.
ग्रेट. तो आप ये बताइए, ICICI बैंक मुझे जितना पता है और सैलरी से भी लग रहा है, इज़ अ प्रिफर्ड रिक्रूटर.
Yes.
और PPOs काफ़ी देता है.
Yes.
तो मेरे दो सवाल है, एक्चुअली ऑनेस्ट सवाल है कि आप जब MBA करने गए थे तो आपके रोल में एग्जैक्टली कौन कौन से B स्कूल से आए थे लोग, उसके बाद कितने लोग थे, कितनों को PPO मिला और आपको क्यों मिला और किसी को नहीं मिला तो क्यों नहीं मिला?
So in my particular branch, I did my internship in Bangalore. So in my particular branch, I was the only intern that was working there. So I don't have any information based on the other colleges. What I can say is from our college, half of the interns that were taken received PPOs.
Talk about your project a little bit more. How is it different from an RM role, which is the most prominent role given by ICICI Bank?
My project was based on AI in banking. So banks right now are trying to move more into the digital era. So they're making investments in AI. So my project was based on AI in banking, and I had to do research on what kind of advancements that the bank can make with regard to their app updates and AI integration into the ICICI Bank softwares and applications.
We'll come to supply chain consulting now, operations. Great trio by the way, marketing, finance, operations. आप ये बताओ, you were placed in one of the best companies that I know exists in India for operations consulting, GP Consulting. Talk to me first about your role. What is a supply chain consultant? What are consultants expected to do once they work in companies like GP Consulting?
I got my internship at GP and I was working as a supply chain consultant. So when we say first of all consultant is first of all identifying what are the key areas and how can you optimize the cost, right? When I was working as a supply chain consultant, so there are various cost heads in a company. Like for example, you are spending in marketing, you are spending in sales, or for the matter, you are spending in other areas like operations, right? So MRO is one of the key areas where you maintain the machines, etc. Now every company want to optimize the cost, want to bring down the cost, right? So as a supply chain consultant, we get a lot of data for various territories, like how can you optimize the areas where you can, let's say consolidation. You can consolidate, let's say 10 suppliers into one, and then you can source the products, right? So as a supply chain consultant, we do a lot of data crunching. We have to see like how can you optimize the basic cost, how can you leverage the benefits of what other companies are providing.
This is consulting.
This is consulting.
Can you talk about supply chain projects which you get? Maybe.
When I was working in GP, I was working for a very big consumer durable client, and my major area was to first of all identify what are the various suppliers that company has all across the world and how can they minimize the cost. Like for example, I was working in this category called MRO, maintenance, repair and overall, right? So now if you are spending some amount on repairs, right, so you are spending some amount on maintenance, how can you bring down that cost? So there are certain ways like consolidation, as I mentioned, that you can consolidate 10 suppliers into one, or let's say you can give big orders for the matter. Now these decisions has to be taken on some data, right? So we have to understand that data, we have to dig into the financials of that company, what are the key plans of that company, and then how can you make it feasible. So that is much and more about the supply chain part.
Do you want to talk about your final placement?
Right. So I was again placed as a supply chain consultant in Capgemini, and my role is pretty much same, but it involves a lot of data analytics and in terms of IT as well, for the matter. So I will be using SQL and Python as well in this core areas. At the moment, I have also not got the official offer letter, but previously it was 15 LPA. So that is the
15 was what
Yeah.
Capgemini is offering as
Yes.
specialist program.
correct.
Great for sharing that. We've had some lovely insights. अगर आपने वीडियो डिटेल में देखा है तो आपको ना केवल मार्केटिंग, फाइनेंस और ऑपरेशंस, बट यू गॉट टू नो अबाउट टापमीज प्लेसमेंट्स एंड यू ऑल्सो विल गेट टू नो अबाउट व्हाई यू शुड जॉइन टापमीज MBA कोर. आपके कुछ डाउट्स हैं तो मुझे कमेंट्स में पूछिए. ऑल द बेस्ट, स्टे सेफ, टेक केयर.